Okay, so on this topic, let's talk about selections. So to select objects in Maya, you go to your selection tool here, and then you can click an object and they will be selected. So that's how you simply select objects in the viewports, just by clicking them. Another way of selecting objects in the viewport is called the region select. Here, you create a marquee, and within the region of the marquee or whatever it touches, it gets selected. It's good for multiple selections. Another way of selecting multiple objects is by holding shift. If I selected this object, I hold shift and click another object, that's multiple selection. That's the shift. Okay? But if I hold control, that is the deselect or subtractive selection. If I click this, it will be deducted or subtracted from the current selection. Okay? So remember that shift is for adding to selection, control is for removing or subtracting from selection. Another safe way of selecting object are this. When you click in the outliner, or you can also search and type in the object name. Okay? So that's how you do selections. But if you will observe, whenever I select, this is what you call the object selection because they are selected as one whole. Okay? And the highlight of the selection is yellow green or neon green. So that means it is being selected as an object. Okay? Now, if you will look at the right side and then go to your modeling toolkit here, you will see that right now you are in your object mode selection, and then next to it is what we call the multi-component selections. This means that you can select parts of the object. What makes up the object? For example, I'll turn off the multi-component. I would just like to select first the vertex. The vertex is part of the object. It is, or these are the corners, the vertices. Whenever the vertex selection is active, I can select it and use the move tool with it. Or I can also use the scale tool with it. This is the scale tool. I can select two, for example, two vertices, and I can scale them together to move them. And then I can also move them together. And I can also rotate them. Or this is the rotate. Shortcut is letter E. And the shortcut for the scale is R. So these are the things that I can do with the component or the sub-objects of this object, which is the box. Okay, so another one, if I turn on the edge component, I can select the edges. I can drag them, I can move them whenever or wherever they are required, for example. And last but not the least, I can select the polygon selection or the face, the third one. The face allows me to select the face itself. To simplify, the vertex allows you to select multiple vertices or vertex. The edge allows you to select two vertices or more at the same time. Holding shift, I can select these two edges. But that means I am selecting three vertices. Okay? And then last, the polygon or face allows me to select four vertices at the same time or four edges. Okay? So those are how you select objects here in Maya. Let's have a tip. For example, if I am currently selecting this, for example, if I am currently selecting this object and I want to select the vertices instead, what should I do? I will hold control and I will click the vertices. Click, and that will transfer the selection into vertex selection. I'll repeat. If I am holding a polygon or face selection like this, if I switch to the vertex immediately, if I am holding a face selection like this, and if I switch to the vertex selection immediately, there will be no more selection. But if I'm holding the face selection like that, I hold control and select the vertex, the selection is transferred. If I am holding or selecting edges like this, I hold control and click the vertex, and it converts the selection into the vertex selection. I can do vice versa. If I am selecting, for example, edges like this, and I hold control and click the faces, and those faces involved are going to be selected also. And if I don't need some of them, I can hold control and then deselect. So that is how you select objects and components. One last tip before we end. How do I go back to the object selection mode? Because right now this is the component selection mode. So to go back, I will just click this object here. This is the object selection. But another quicker way is just do a right click and choose object mode. I'll repeat, hold right click, choose object mode. Also, as you can see, you see the other sub-objects present here. Hold right click if I want to go vertex, hold right click if I want to go face, or hold right click if I want to go edge. There. See you on the next lesson.